Yeah. What you want to talk about? AFD pod. We were talking about like long versus short. Tom Zutaut at Adventure Cars, Dalton, Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. So he sells cars now, which no offense to anyone selling cars in Georgia. So that's what this guy does. The guy who discovered Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses. Well, I mean that's better than what probably. I mean, Alan's retired. Doug,
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's saying he's working 12-hour days doing sales,
And flip-flopping.
flip flopping. I'll say this here, and I don't. And I'll see if it gets out on the podcast too. So the last thing with him, and I'll go back to Tom. Sorry, this is why I'm glad that you're doing this. You're helping me vent, and I think this is better to do this on a Patreon because you're getting the dirt. It said at the beginning I was given these deadlines by this guy, which I was, but these were bullshit deadlines that were set up to make me fail
Yeah.
because Doug wouldn't make himself available or just wasn't available. And the guy knew since our first conversation, or just knew that I wasn't, I wasn't an author, didn't know how to play ball, or didn't know his way of writing. I
Yeah.
was,
You weren't in the club.
I was never going to be the guy. So the fact that that was even in the contract was offensive. Like made it seem like I couldn't cut it.
Hmm.
That's why I bowed out. No, I bowed out because I was offended that you didn't back me up the way you needed to back me up, and we didn't go somewhere else.
So I don't know how I'm going to incorporate this into the Lost Years. That's still a couple of chapters away. I've only written chapter one. So hopefully the first video will be out in May. That's what I'm looking for.
That's
And
amazing.
but
It's you're tackling a subject that is just so difficult to do, and I obviously tried to do on the podcast. I've interviewed people, you know, during that time, but it's so you still don't get a clear picture, and to
no,
be able for someone like you to put it into a picture, a documentary, essentially, I know you'll be able to do it and do a great job. I mean, the evidence is with Dustin Bones, the Izzy documentary, which you just put out, and I shared on my socials that you just put out like an updated version, cleaning up some
yeah,
glitches and
yeah,
text at the bottom. And man, it's like so universally loved by people who say I watched it several times.